Counting down the best James Bond pre-title sequences, at number 4 we have one of the very best, Goldfinger.
The second pre-title sequence ever, Goldfinger, and coming hot on the heels of From Russia with Love, that one was almost like a trick, wasn't it, to show you this isn't actually Bond, this isn't the real film, this is a prelude. But with Goldfinger, we get a mission, a mini mission, which is separate from the rest of the film, self-contained. You could watch it and learn all about James Bond in 4 minutes, I think it is. That's it.
This was obviously, I think, the first real pre-title sequence, I think, in the sense that I feel about pre-title sequences.
Yeah.
In that I know I talked about this, and we all talked about it with John Glenn in that wonderful hour we spent with him, about that idea that the pre-title sequence could be viewed as the very final chapter of the last mission Bond did before the main mission of the movie that you're about to watch. And this has all those hallmarks. It's got scale. It's so grand in its scope. It's got real rhythm to it. You know, it ebbs and flows so wonderfully. It oozes charm. I mean, it's one of the classiest things you're gonna see. And it's just brilliant. And it sets, for me, this is like the benchmark that all pre-title sequences have to follow.
Because it's almost like, yes, we've had 2 Bond films with Sean Connery, but this is almost like another introduction to him as Bond, isn't it?
Yeah. All the classic ones for me are about Bond finishing off, largely unrelated to anything else. I don't really want to see any, I don't want it to be part of the odd callback, the odd hangover bit is fine, but I don't, watching him take someone out. I mean, I've never been more ready to watch him go on a new mission after watching him just smash the last mission out of the park.
Yeah. You don't need to know everything, do you? We don't, in Goldfinger, we don't know who these people are. It looks like Latin America or something like that. There's a plane to Miami, which almost says that could be following on where he's on to next.
Yeah.
But
it's like Casablanca.
Yeah, it is.
It
is
so much like Casablanca.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I suppose the tux helps that, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
a very Bogart vibe to it.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Everything that you would ever want from a pre-title sequence. It's probably the first time that James Bond's in a disguise, and he's disguised as a seagull. A seagull. It's comedy, but it's actually great spy work as well.
If that was another actor who most people couldn't carry that off. The audience instantly laugh in the wrong way, and then you'd be difficult to recover from that. But when we were at the Prince Charles, I saw it, with loads of Bond fans for the 60th anniversary. The laughing is there because it is meant to be funny. But then the reaction later when it's like that panther movement, isn't it, of him walking.
But then you've got him take off the wetsuit to put on the tuxedo, and it's a white tuxedo. His biggest movie star performance is this.
Yeah.
And it's like it's almost like someone said, just take the handbrake off and enjoy yourself. Yeah. And from minute one, when you see him in that tux, the bomb goes off, and you've just got him just looking so cool and completely unflustered. Like, he just don't care. He is mint.
I've just thought of this now. This is so Partridge, but From Russia with Love was, when you're doing your driving test, you pass the test. You learn how to pass the test, don't you? By doing everything perfectly. But you only learn to drive after you've passed the test. So
absolutely.
If From Russia with Love is learning how to be Fleming's Bond,
oh God,
ticking every box, Goldfinger is learning to just run with it and actually drive and actually do it naturally rather than trying to pass an exam.
The score at that bit is my top 3 James Bond theme renditions. That little snazzy motif in between. Absolutely love all that. I think that helps when you say about the rhythm of it, because that is perfectly rhythmic to what Bond's doing in terms of sorting out the explosives there.
The Bond theme then, John Barry's
Oh, it's out of hand.
Unbelievable. This is 4 minutes maximum of greatness. I think it's called Kapungo, and you see him in the eye. What an amazing, great little shot that. And then how's he going to do it? Great, brutal fight. And then the shocking, positively shocking. So it mic drop, bang, into the loudest brass section you will ever do. I mean, it is short, it is in your face, it is violent, it is funny, it is cool, it is sexy, and it's in less than 4 minutes.
You've smashed it there. I think also, like, if you were to try and advertise and explain why the Bond franchise is successful, point them to this. Also, if you ask the average person anywhere, what's in a James Bond film? Ah, well, there's gadgets, there's explosions, there's beautiful women, there's quips, there's cool moments. Oh, well, they're all in this 4 minutes. Every single one of those things is ticked. It's like the economy of it is insane. Oh, there's great sets.
Oh,
that set that just gets waxed is amazing. You know, humongous in terms of ticking every Bond box. And also, it holds up. My 6-year-old watched it tonight, and he just thought, oh, yeah. It's the benchmark, again, that every Bond moment has to beat. You know, the bar was set so high by Dr. No, then From Russia with Love. And then we reach this point where you're right, like the trousers, they just fit. Like everything locks in, like all the planets align, like every possible planet in the solar system aligns at this moment for the opening of this movie. And no wonder at the time, like, so my dad was 11 and he remembers seeing this in the cinema, and he just said, like, none of us had ever seen anything like this. Like, this was just, it floored everyone, and word got out. There were queues around the block from, to get into the cinema to watch it. Like, it changed everything. And as an 11-year-old boy seeing that, he said it's just seismic, absolutely seismic.
I think props have to be given to Guy Hamilton on this as well, because I read that the pre-title sequence in From Russia with Love actually came. It wasn't intended initially. It came, so it basically happened by, not mistake, but it happened by coincidence.
And the editing process, I think.
Yeah, during the editing process. So Guy Hamilton has taken that idea, and he has in effect created, like, what this could be. And the way he describes it is a brilliant piece of nonsense. And that's how he describes it on it. And I get what he's saying, but I actually think that that's a bit harsh on it, because it's not nonsense. It's absolute class. And I know it doesn't have any bearing on the story whatsoever, apart from the fact it tells you who James Bond is.
The bit with the girl from Ali Karen Bay's, I know it's not the same character, but instantly the chemistry is amazing.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It's another twist. Oh, hang on, she's probably doing this to set him up.
Oh,
forgive me.
Why do you always wear that thing?
I have a slight inferiority complex. Where was I? Oh, yes.
And then you get another side of Connery where he's always excelled, the fight. I think it's a really muscular, realistic fight. And obviously people remember it for the way it ends with the chucking the lamp in the bath. But you do feel like it's a small room. There's not much room to be... There's like one bit where he's grabbing his leg and it's really awkward. It's not the prettiest, most choreographed fight. This would never be filmed now.
No.
Current trends are the sort of John Wick balletic fighting. This is proper two big men going at it. Don't care how they do it. One of them's going to have to die, aren't they? And it works brilliantly.
Grubby close quarters fighting was never filmed better in the Bond movies than in the 60s and 70s.
Yes.
Where there's not much room to maneuver and everything's horrible and everything's in your face and you've got elbows and feet and gut shots and... it's brilliant. I mean, it's like, I love Roger to death, but it's not like that gorgeous boot to the bum of Sandor on the roof, It's really? Not like that. Yeah. This is like lovely, there's only one misstep in that fight for me. It's the comedy overthrow that Kapungo, is that what?
Yeah, Kapungo, yeah.
Kapungo overthrows a punch right over Connery's head. by a significant distance and jumps with it, you know, and then I'm not quibbling. It always makes me chuckle that a little bit.
Shocking. Positively shocking.